everybody. It's been an awful long time, but let me just say welcome back to Balthazar's Pagan Garden. I was on a 2-week vacation during which I had to complete 2 finals. I have been back-to-back in classes for several months, so I have been away, but I'm in one class now. I'm already ahead of where I should be at this time. I only have one class going at the moment, so hooray! I apologize, this season hasn't been what I would want it to be. It's been kind of hit or miss as to the garden and the time I've been able to spend to it. So I'm going to be doing some cleanup today, and I wanted to show you the before and the after. Alright, so let me just quickly show you the before. I'll start right next to the door. Here's the before. La, la, la. This isn't too bad. I mean, it's a little messy. My lawnmower, my new wheelbarrow, which I don't know who actually saw. This thing is freaking cool. It's a gorilla cart. It can hold 1,200 pounds, and it even connects to like little yard tractors and stuff just by pulling the cotter pin and connecting the connector to this U part here. It's kind of cool. It's a dump body, so I can dump what's in it just by lifting it up. But on to what we've got. More stuff, more mess. Yep, I know, horrible. Oh look, my son Xander has a new castle fort thing that he really likes. We got that pretty cheap on Craigslist. And the grass or weeds or whatever you want to call it has just gone crazy. I did trim up that tree and it looks really nice, so I'm happy with that. The garden is kind of sad, but you'll see in the video that I am in the middle of making right now, I got some mulch. Well, this crabapple tree seems to love it. I mean, it's huge. I'm still trimming it so that it looks like it's in a big spiral, but so far, right now, this season, it's just very, very bushy. I'm gonna clean that up a bit. Compost tea brewer has been brewing for a while, brewing strong. Doesn't really smell, but it goes through stages where it doesn't smell great, but it doesn't stink real bad. But I'm sure this water is loaded with all kinds of things now. But tell you what, my lilac bush seems to like it. I mean, look, that is thicker than I think I've ever seen it, and it is doing absolutely great. I've got stuff from the kitchen remodel that I told you I was going to show you at some point, which I will. Still piles of countertop granite and everything. This will eventually be my outdoor kitchen. Oh, don't talk about that. That's a surprise for later. And let's take a walk over to the garden, shall we? Apparently, while I was on vacation, we had some hail. But I'm going to go more in depth to it when I get over here to weed and everything. But I've got some pepper plants doing okay. I've got some tomato plants that are doing it's doing okay, I guess. My my Cono de Toro Rosso in this bucket is doing pretty good. Oh my word! I finally got one. I finally got one. A sweet potato to actually take. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. That's cool. That's the first time I noticed that. Yes, sir. This little super dense beauty is, I assume, the microtom, but I think the labels got mixed up because it's labeled weird. But I don't see any tomatoes on it yet, so we don't know. Here's the sign after being outside for a few months. Color's a little faded, but it's still readable. Sign's still plenty good, so it hasn't rotted away. But as you can tell, the glue I was using did not hold. Whoopity-doo! Almost all my hot peppers got taken out by some sort of pest. I've got to do some weeding, as you can see. But I've got flowers on all my tomatoes. I've got some tomatoes forming here and there. I've got my Three Sisters bed with the squash. My Hubbard squashes are doing really good. But again, like I said, we must have gotten hail or something because there's holes all through them. I've got the occasional huge weed that needs to be yanked out, like this one. I have no idea what that is, but it's annoying. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to weed, I'm going to mow. My pollinator bed's kind of hiding inside all this junk. So let's get to it. Oh wait, yeah. I turned this compost just before I left, and it was twice as deep. I piled it in and it was a good here-ish, I'd say. And it collapsed down. So I'm going to turn that again. Hopefully get that turned over. And I've got a surprise for you, but you're not going to see that until I publish the other video. So we'll see how that goes. I've got bindweed. This stuff here, although I like it in my lawn, I do not like it in my stuff because it gets in the way. My seedling trays that I had some seedlings in that all died out because I just never planted them. I didn't have room. Wishing I had planted them or done something with them because now I could use them. So let me flip the camera back. So let's get to the first task, mowing the lawn. Getting this stuff cut down, shrunk down to be more manageable. Hopefully it doesn't rain, because I think I just felt a raindrop. But we'll see what happens. So I didn't get a chance to finish mowing the lawn yesterday because it downpoured on me. But I figured I'd come out today and I would do the compost, turn that over, sift out what's usable, what's finished. You know, that way it can cure by the time I need to use it. So I figured I'd take you along with me for that. And this is all being cobbled together into one episode, I'm sure, because I know how I think. But here we go. We're going to start out by using the Gorilla cart that I have there, the dump body. We're going to shovel everything that's in it into one big pile, and then we're going to take that pile from both compost bins, and we're going to sift it through the sifter that I made to provide us with an actual, decent source of usable compost. I need to make a couple of raised beds this year, so that will probably be going in there as well. Matter of fact, I'm thinking that what's in there for compost right now is going to make up one raised bed for my asparagus and for my strawberries, which I have in the garage, because it's nice and cool in there and it's not being bothered by heat or humidity or anything. So let's get to the compost, shall we? Here's our compost bins. I showed you this one yesterday. Here's the one that is my long-term. The reason I'm emptying this one out and sifting it is because I need this space to load all the non-salvageable debris, in other words anything that hasn't turned into compost yet, so I can dump it all into here. And we're going to sift it through here, and we're going to put it all back into here, and we'll start a fresh compost pile there. So that is basically what we're doing at the moment. Let me go ahead and start the process. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys what's actually in this compost pile, because I realize it probably looks an awful lot like a big pile of sticks. And that was the problem I had when I loaded this garden bed up first, the very first season of the pagan garden. That's why I also added the sifter. because I want to show you what the inside of this pile looks like. See that? It smells like dirt. It's got an awful lot of sticks in it, but not that much air anymore. So what I'm doing is I'm loading it into here, and I'm going to sift it. And anything that's too big to fit through those holes is going to go right back into my compost pile. Not to mention, I'm adding air to it. I'm loading it in a big pile to cure because I'm not ready to use it yet. But I need to get this turned because right now it's starved for oxygen. So let's get to it. Let's move this pile into that barrel and see what we can get out of it. Whoa! Shit. Oh, crap. Oh my God. There's a field mouse in my compost pile. And it just scared the crap out of me. Oh my goodness. I did not expect my pile of compost to just come to life. Holy crap. Okay. Back to it then. Ants. I found some ants. Ants. You see them all moving there? Part of the food web. One lesson that mouse taught me is that this pile of compost is more than just compost. This pile of compost is a habitat. And with that revelation, and the fact that I don't need this compost yet, I'm going to throw some of the green waste I have from my front flower bed in amongst this, and I'm going to put the pile back because I don't need it yet. And it is a habitat. I've got large predators in the form of mice. I've got other predatory insects. I have ants. I have beetles. I have fly larvae. I have just a menagerie of animals that have made this pile their home. And I don't need it yet. So I don't need to sift it yet. I'm feeling, at least I'm feeling that this is the right idea anyway, that the mouse is probably living in the next pile over. And I swore not to touch that for a year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go before the weather gets too bad for the mouse, because I want it to be able to have time to find a new home. I'm going to turn this pile. But right now, I don't need it. I don't have to do it. So I'm going to put the pile back. And I'm going to call it good for right now on the Balthazar's Pagan Garden. So, as always, blessed be to you and yours. And merry meet until we meet again. And again, thank you very much for being patient with me. I know I've been absent for an awful long time. But I got offered a collaboration with somebody, so it's going to be kind of awesome. See if I can get that going and fit it into my schedule. I don't know exactly what's going to be gone over with that, but that's it for this video. Again, thank you very much. Bye.
You've been awesome.